What's up, guys, and welcome to Straight from the Chest. My name is Justin Groth. Guys, thank you for giving me your listening ear. Thank you for joining me. It means a lot to me. So, if you're new to this podcast, first of all, welcome. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you take something from it. If you don't, I don't know, man. I tried. That's it. I can't say anything else about that. You know, today I had a crazy day. Let's talk about it for a second. So normally on Saturdays, I have a couple of errands that I do or run rather. I have some chores that I take care of around the house, and I leave the rest for Sunday. And Sunday is Super Bowl week or Super Bowl day. I don't know how you would say that. It's Super Bowl. So I'm getting ready for Super Bowl, even though I could care less. I care less, but I want to engage in the festivities, i.e. food. That's it. And especially because it's my cheat meal day, not cheat day, cheat meal day, even though my meal is like 3 meals in one. let's be honest. But I'm just so excited to just kind of let loose, watch the game, even though I don't care about it, and eat the food. So I jam pack everything that I do on Saturday and Sunday on Saturday today, and it's just back to back doing that. It just seemed like it never ended. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I'm making it far more. I don't know. I'm making it far more worse than it sounds, but all in an effort to engage in something I could care less about. But I don't know, man. That's just the way this weekend went. And even though that's not entertaining in and of itself, I can't wait for tomorrow because I'm gonna have pizza and I'm gonna have cake and I'm gonna have ice cream. And I don't just have like a slice or 2 or 4 of pizza. I have like a large and a half. Probably I have pints of ice cream, like probably 2 pints of ice cream, baked goods, whatever. I'm probably consuming 8,000, 9,000 calories, whatever. Monday hits, I feel a little bit, but get over it. Good energy for leg day. And we do the whole thing over again, man. I mean, back to the diet. Anyways, that's a little, that's a side piece about what I did today and what I look forward to tomorrow. Now that I don't have really anything to do, I can kind of relax. But guys, on an unrelated note, there seems to be a lot of, at least what I see in my feed and what I see with people in general being in the space that I'm in, a lot of people have questions centered around what they're doing or how to go about something, or how long is this going to take, or what can I expect, or they just have all these different questions associated with what they haven't even started yet. And it's so, there's a part of me that feels for them. There's another big part of me that just does not care and wants to tell them, you are making this way too complicated. You just have to start. And there's something about that that's so liberating for people in general, you, myself, but yet we fail to just push the gas pedal. We can start up the ignition, we can check our mirrors, we put our seatbelt on, but it's like we just fail to put it in drive and step on the gas. And we have all these questions. Well, what if this happens? Well, I have to have this type of program because this is what's best to build this type of physique, etc. It's like what I tell the people when I tell the clients or people that think they want to work with me. I say, you're not even at, normally this is the conversation, you're not even at the level yet to even question anything, to even indulge yourself in the minutia. You're not there yet. You need to just start moving. You need to start actively lifting weights, getting on a set schedule, and showing me, yourself, etc., that you can actually go through this process. If you don't even have that, you have no business worrying about the minutia, the little detail, the small incremental detail that doesn't mean anything yet. So let's start there. Let's get all the basics down first. People don't want to talk about basics. They almost pejoritize basics. It's like, no. The basics are everything. And nobody's too good to omit the basics from their life. Nobody. That goes for anything. It's all about the basics, and you need to actually ground yourself in that and live in the basics. I live in the basics too. When it comes to my own training, I live in the basics. I still do the basic movement patterns. Still. I still eat the basic ways. Still. I don't try to do different fads. I don't try to embark on nuances. Like, I stick to basics because they work. But all too often, we belittle the basics as if they're not really going to get us to where we want to go. And that's the biggest lie ever. That's the biggest lie you could ever tell yourself. And the biggest blunder that you could indulge in is questioning everything and making things far too comprehensive. That's the biggest mistake you'll make in any embarking on any journey ever. The thing you need to do is indulge in courage and muster up the grit to actually move forward into the unknown. That's the only way you're going to actually be able to prove to yourself you're worth anything and that you have what it takes. But if you don't do any of that, and you just keep questioning everything because you're good at that. I mean, we're all good at questioning things and giving excuses for the questions we can't answer. You pay more energy to that, you'll never get anywhere. You'll just walk in place. And I don't know if you're trying to walk in place. Maybe you are. But I would presuppose that you want to actually move forward in life. I would think that you want to move forward. You don't want to stay on a treadmill and just walk in place every day and not get anywhere, not get anything accomplished. But that's going to take you omitting all the questions from your life and actually moving forward in the unknown with whatever it is that you're trying to do or trying to accomplish. But if you continuously question, man, you'll just stay in place, right? We know that. We know that. It takes a diligency on your end. It takes you actively telling yourself, I have what it takes. And even if I don't think I have what it takes, I'm going to tell myself I do, because one day I know that I'm going to acquire what it takes. But that's only going to be through the process of years and years of repetition. Years and years and years and years of repetition. Not questioning the minutia, the detailed shit that doesn't make any sense right now to you and is not applicable to you. And it's just bombarding you with more fear and with more ambiguities. You don't need that. You need to start with basics. That could be with your training program, that could be with your business, that could be with getting a t-shirt line started. You need to just start with basics. Okay. What do I need? What are the main components that I need? And we won't go through all the variables with every single journey or thing you want to do or thing that there is to do out there. But listen, it's going to take hard, not only hard work, but hard diligency on your end. Because there are going to be times that you wake up in the morning and you hate what you did yesterday. And you keep replaying it. And you're just like, you hate it. You're critiquing it. You're holding on to what was. And that's not the point. You need to let it out there and be done with it. And if that's your work ethic, if that's something that you did in the gym, like, look, man, if you knew that you could have put another rep on the set and you admittedly pussed out, know that. Don't dwell on it, know it, and then take it to the next workout and do that same thing, but make the rep that you would have done last time, put it on this set. Or do 2 reps, make up for it. And you'll build resiliency, you'll build strength in that effort. Not only psychological strength, but you'll build physical strength as well. But you need to challenge yourself. You need a challenge, but you'll never have a challenge if you never even start. So understand that this is a repetition. This is not something that you're going to just conquer overnight or even in a few months or even in a few years. It's going to take you, even if you have talent, like born, stamped, approved talent, it's going to take you at least 8 to 10 years of you practicing in your craft before anybody knows who you are, before you're known. At least 8 to 10 years before something pops off for you. At least 8 to 10 years of practicing, relentlessly practicing in your pursuit before anybody knows who you are or before the world recognizes who you are, before you're known, before an opportunity pronounces itself. It's going to take at least 8 to 10 years. You got to keep swinging the bat. You have to keep swinging the bat. Don't be like your partners and go in the dugout when you strike out. Keep swinging, man. You have to keep swinging. You can take the best talent. Let's take the best talent in bodybuilding. Ronnie Coleman, arguably the best bodybuilder ever. Everything from his conditioning, his size, his strength, what he would lift, his work ethic, all of those second to none. 8 times in a row, he won the biggest bodybuilding show on earth. In a row. Just annihilated his competition. He is God-given genetics, granted. Before that, do you know what Ronnie was doing before he even made his way into the actual realm of winning and not losing for 8 straight consecutive times? He lost consecutively. A lot. Like last place. People didn't even see who he was because he was not even in the scope or the aim of the higher ups in his competitive realm. They wouldn't even notice, those competitors didn't even notice him. What happened? He kept pursuing, he kept going because, and this is the main thing here. I'm a firm believer in you can do something that you don't really like, that you kind of like, you're not really enthralled with it, but you like it enough to do it every day. You can do that thing that you don't really like all that much enough. You practice it, and you'll get good enough to where something pops off for you in that particular element or craft that you're practicing, even if you don't love it. But here's the thing, when you love it, when you are immersed in it, when it's something of you, when it's a piece of who you are, you not only practice it more relentlessly, you practice it more often. So those hours will extrapolate over time and you'll get to where you'll get to an opportunity or a trajectory shift sooner because you loved it, because you practice it more, because it was a part of you, because it's all you thought about and it's not something that you just scheduled into your life. Even though I believe that the people that just schedule something in, even if they don't really love it, can still get somewhere with it, provided they practice relentlessly for years on end. It just helps a lot more when you love what you're doing. But this guy, Ronnie, his work ethic, his body, genetics, second to none, man. He still had to practice what he was doing, even though he is going to go probably down in history as the best bodybuilder of all time. You can argue Arnold, but not really. I'm just saying, not really. Weren't all things considered, Arnold? No. Arnold only because Arnold was, this isn't a bodybuilding podcast. I'm sorry I'm making it out to be that way right now, but it just was dear to my heart, so I talk about it a lot. But Arnold only because he's just kind of the guy that kind of mainstream bodybuilding. You know, he just kind of an anomaly, that guy. I mean, but not the best. Okay, all things played out, not the best. Physique-wise, work ethic, all that, not the best. Didn't have the best work ethic. He could have been better. He didn't work that hard. Let's just be honest. Ronnie, if you've ever seen, look up YouTube videos of Ronnie Coleman in 2002, 2003. He's crazy. It's crazy. It's preposterous, the weight that he lifts for as many reps as he does. And even being on steroids, this guy was second to none. Nobody could pull the kind of weight that he was doing, even on the same gear. Okay. He still had to practice it, even though he was losing. And even though he didn't know this, but he had something that all those other people didn't have. But it only took shape after so many years of chiseling, chomping at the bit. And because he loved it. He loved it so much that that's the only thing that kept him in. But then once he stepped out of that realm of, not out of it, but when he stepped out of the, what I'm trying to say is when he stepped out of the sense of practicing for so long, he got to a cruising level. And he still wasn't cruising because that's not his work ethic. That's not his mentality. But you can call it that from the state of him coming up and trying to actually elevate to the level that he actually ended up staying at a long time at. But if he had just said, you know what, I can't compete with these guys, like I keep losing, I keep getting last. There's clearly nothing special about me. These guys have something more special, clearly, because they win over me every time. We wouldn't have who he is to this day. We wouldn't know Ronnie Coleman, and he wouldn't know, what he could have been. And I know that sounds so non-original, but how about if you apply that to your life? And how about if you realize, look, man, if I stop now, I'm never going to know how special I could have been. Only because you don't want to put time in. Only because you question everything. Only because you put a fixation on the minutia detail that don't mean anything at the end of the day. The only thing that means anything are the basics. And for anything to scale, you have to be perseverant. For anything to scale, you have to keep swinging. That's the reality. I don't care what it is. You have to keep swinging. The only reason why I'm going to be anything is because I keep swinging. I don't go in the dugout. And I don't know what I'm going to be. But I know I'm going to be something because I'm going to keep plugging. And I'm going to keep swinging. And there's nothing that's going to take me out unless it's death. And I hope you feel the same way about your craft. I hope you feel the same way about what God's put on your heart. And if you don't, I think you need to sit and reflect. I think you need to sit and reflect on your life, on what talents God's given you, on what you're using your energy towards, on who you're investing your energy in, all of it. Because all of it plays a role in the construction of who you are. I don't know where I'm going. That's reality. And you don't know where you're going. You don't have an idea. You may think you do, but that can all change like that. So, let's not get caught up on ourselves. You don't know where you're going. I don't know where I'm going. But I'll tell you this. You have a leg up if you keep swinging every day. If you keep swinging and you don't go in the dugout like a coward, like a quitter, then you'll eventually get somewhere. An opportunity will present itself. Your life will take a trajectory shift. Remember, 8 to 10 years, at least, even with talent, before you're known. Done.